The first one's gonna be some type of flat-sided crankbait. Now this can vary day to day, okay? It really depends on the weather conditions and the mood of the fish. But the genre is kind of gonna stay the same. Flat-sided crankbaits, okay? I want that tight wiggle, okay? You know, when those fish are positioned maybe, you know, 8 to 10 foot of water, something like that KVD flat side round bill is perfect, okay? Fishing riprap, around trees, lay down, stuff like that, it's just a perfect way to catch those fish and trigger a lot of reaction bites. But now let's say these fish move up on a flat, right? So let's say they push up on a flat and you're trying to, you know, target these fish. A lot of times, especially if you deal with like that moss that gets on the bottom of your lake and stuff that dies off this time of year from the grass, it gets all over your hooks and stuff, it can be really annoying. That's typically when I go to like the rattle trap or something. And typically this time of year, I like going with a 1/4 ounce. I either go with some type of 1/4 ounce like one knocker, or I typically go with one with a lot of rattles. It's just all personal preference, and sometimes I believe it makes a huge difference, but most of the time during the winter it doesn't really. If the water's clean and clear, a lot of times I'll go with a silent one. So, you know, just mess around with those a little bit. If you're on, you know, that 10 to 15 foot range and those fish are kind of lined up towards the bottom of these, you know, riprap walls or rock or anything like that, that KVD flat side is going to be perfect, or any type of flat side that you really like. But if they're pushed up on the flats, a flat area, something like a rattle trap is absolutely going to trigger a ton of bites. And I'm typically going to be just slow rolling this. This particular flat-sided crankbait, I'm going to slow reel this bait, get it down there, get it scrubbing bottom, and I'm just going to slow reel it. Anytime I bump into something, I may pause for like 3 to 5 seconds and let that bait float up. And a lot of times those fish will swim up to it, and as soon as it bumps, they'll stop. And when you stop, they stop and they sit there and they watch it. As soon as you go to slow crank that again and that bait gets down there, they'll come behind it and grab it. But the rattle trap, I'm typically going to do something like a slow retrieve, or if they maybe move off of the flats, like let's say they were up on a flat at a certain point and you're following those fish as they start to go off that flat, sometimes jigging a rattle trap this time of year is an absolute game changer for your day. So taking that rattle trap, casting it out there, letting it fall towards the bottom, picking it up, dropping it, picking it up, dropping it, a lot of times will trigger a ton of bites.